Very good evening, my dear students and my dear future chartered accountants as well. Okay, so you all know today was the intermediate results, isn't it? Are you all aware of it? Today was the result of CA intermediate. Okay, and you should be knowing that it is not as easy now as you think. You know that you will take a very casual approach and you will clear your intermediate. Not the same. Foundation was here, I tell you, intermediate is a level ahead and then final is a notch ahead. Okay, so you have to prepare and strategize your studies and your curriculum in a way that you do not face a panic situation a day before the exam. Okay, so I hope you all are studying with all your zeal and efforts. Is it so? Are you all studying, dear students? Are you all studying? Okay, in fact, AIR3 is my colleague. Okay, Daksh. All right. Voice is something low. Is it so? Please let me know if the voice is low. I don't think so. Is my voice okay? Please show me a thumbs up. Is my voice okay? Technical team? Someone is saying Vedant. My voice is fine, right? Vedant is saying okay. Okay. No, Daksh. There is no change in the device. Okay, all right. Check at your end, beta. Okay, all right. So without wasting much time now, a quick recap of what we did last turn. We started with chapter 11, isn't it? And we did major portion was it 5 kinds of threat to independence. Do you all remember that? Do you all remember that, dear students? Do you all remember? We did safeguards to independence. We also did what is independence, what are the fundamental principles. Do you all remember that? Okay. Now today starting with audit engagement and terms of audit engagement. Now come on, get ready for today's session now. Okay. So just imagine that you are an auditor and you have a client. Okay, your client calls you a fresh prospective client. He calls you and he says, sir, I want to appoint you as my CA for this year or my auditor for this year. Please audit my firm's balance sheet and profit and loss account. So what will you say? You will say, yes, I'm coming tomorrow. Will it happen that way? Will it happen that way? No. The client will send an appointment letter to you. Okay, maybe via telephonic conversation it happened. But then too, a written letter stating that as per our telephonic conversation dated this and this, okay, you have been appointed as a chartered accountant or as our auditor. Okay, then the auditor will send the engagement letter back to the client saying that you and the other management have to acknowledge the same. Okay, if it is a partnership firm, then the sign of all the partners is mandatory. Okay, so then it is a way like client first sending appointment letter to the auditor and auditor then sending the engagement letter. What happens in the engagement letter? In engagement letter, the auditor, he discusses the responsibility of the management as well as the auditor, the extent, the scope of audit, how much audit is to be done, what has to be audited. Okay, the time period starting from 1st April ending on 31st March. What are the financial statements to be audited? Okay, so all these are terms and conditions upon which the auditor will agree that yes, I have been engaged and kindly acknowledge that you have engaged me. Otherwise, what if the engagement letter is not there? Just tell me what will happen if the engagement letter is missing. If something goes wrong, the client will say, I had not even appointed them as our auditor. We did not appoint them as the auditor. We have not engaged them for such an assignment. I don't know why are they auditing. Can it happen? Okay. This helps the auditor to save from any allegation or unauthorized custody of books or anything, because there you are stating that you have been appointed for this purpose. You will do the audit of this particular financial year. If any other thing happen to be found out later on which relates to any other previous year, the auditor says, sorry, I am not responsible for it. It acts as a safeguard for the auditor, isn't it? The auditor will say, sorry, I was only to audit this particular year. I was only to audit these financial statements. Some other financial statement coming up, I am not aware of this. I'm sorry. The management is saying that they have prepared the financial statement. The management said that they will give us access to books of accounts, but now they are not letting us to. They have signed and said that yes, we will allow you to access books of accounts, to ask people, to summon people, but now they are not allowing. Okay, are you understanding? It is a contract, isn't it? And you all know what happened when the contract breaks. Huh? You all know section 2H. All agreements enforceable at law are contracts, isn't it? So both the parties signing and then breaking, it can be enforceable at law, isn't it? Are you all understanding? Okay, all right. So let's start. It says an audit engagement involves engaging an auditor by a client. You engage the auditor, okay, for audit of its financial statements. Audit engagement terms can include matter such as objective. What is the objective of audit? Do you all remember the overall objective of audit? SA 200? Huh? Who will tell me? SA 200, the overall objective was to obtain reasonable assurance, isn't it, that the financial statements are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and what? And the management has prepared the financial statement as per applicable FRF, and the auditor will follow the essays and comment upon the same, isn't it? Do you all remember SA 200? It's very important essay. See, coming here also. Overall objective and scope of audit of financial statement, responsibilities of auditor, responsibilities of management, identification of applicable financial reporting framework. Which financial reporting framework is acceptable? General framework, compliance framework, special purpose framework, what it is. Okay. And reference to expected form and content of report to be issued by the auditor. Very important. Form and content. How will the auditor's report look like? Okay. Do you all got the basic idea of what exactly engagement is? Okay. Now proceeding to agreeing the terms of an audit engagement. Essay 210. I always tell my students to remember this essay number 210 by two people agreeing to, I would say this because mirror image will look like this. Two people agreeing to one engagement letter. Two people agreeing to one terms. Consensus ad idem in your law, huh? Same mindset. So two people agreeing to one terms. So 210. Will you remember this like this? Will you all remember the essay like this? Two people agreeing to one term and condition. I'm not getting responses. Are you all understanding? Students, are you understanding? Show me a thumbs up. Okay, all right. Okay. So now, essay 210. two people agreeing to one. They say 210 deals with the auditor's responsibility regarding what? Regarding the terms of audit engagement. With whom? With the management, and where appropriate or where management is not there, TCWG, those charged with governance. And it includes establishing that certain preconditions for an audit, responsibility for which rest with the management, and where appropriate, those charged with governance are present. So basically, they say the overall objective of 210 is to what? Is to see that the auditor's responsibility in agreeing the terms of the audit, okay, and with the management or those charged with governance, and to see whether the preconditions for an audit is it present. Now, ma'am, what are the preconditions? Preconditions are two. First precondition, that the management has used the AFRF, means use of acceptable financial reporting framework for the presentation of balance sheet financial statements. Okay. Second, what do you mean by premise? What do you mean by premise? Premise are the fundamental responsibilities that the management or TCWG must have acknowledged and agreed to before the auditor can even start his audit. Premise are the fundamental responsibilities that TCWG or management, they have acknowledged or they have agreed to before the auditor can even start the audit. Okay, so there are two preconditions. One is that the use of applicable financial reporting framework is there. Second, the premise is there. The basic foundation, the basic fundamental responsibilities of management, they agree to it. That is there. So the objective of auditor is to see this. Okay, they say the objective of the auditor is to accept or continue, except in case of a new audit engagement, continue in case of a continuing assignment. An audit engagement only when the basis upon which is to be performed has been agreed through two things: establishing whether the preconditions for an audit are present, and confirming that there is a common understanding between the auditor and management. Two people agreeing to one. So common understanding, consensus ad idem is there. Again, do not write consensus ad idem there. Okay, it is a legal terminology. What is the audit terminology? Common understanding between auditor and management. Okay, do not write consensus ad idem is there, please. Are you all understanding? That is a contractual language. That's a legal language. And we are studying audit. Are you able to relate, dear students? See, the terminologies, why do we emphasize on those words? Why do we emphasize? So that you do not end up writing a wrong terminology. Okay. So what is the objective? The objective is to either accept or continue. Accept in case of a new audit engagement. Continue in case of audit, already existing audit engagement. That basis upon which is to be performed has been agreed through either establishing whether the preconditions for an audit. Now, what are the preconditions? We will do. But first, you have to remember that the preconditions are present. And second, that there is a common understanding. You confirm that there is a common understanding between the auditor and management, or where appropriate, those charged with governance regarding the terms of audit engagement. Is this story clear to all of you? Is this story clear to all of you? Come on, show me a thumbs up if it is. Okay. So what have we studied till now? We have studied that 210 says that the objective is when you are accepting or when you are continuing with an audit engagement. You do it, you accept it, or you continue it when only the basis on which it is to be performed has been agreed upon. Neither of the case, even when you are accepting a fresh audit or you are continuing. So you have to see two things. that whether the preconditions are present or not. And second, you confirm that there is an understanding between the auditor and management, whose responsibility is to see that the preconditions are uh, present or not, and confirming that the common understanding between the auditor and the management exists. Whose responsibility is it? Can anyone write to me in the chat box? Daksh, your answer is correct. Others, please tell me whose responsibility it is to see that whether the preconditions are present and there exists a common understanding between the auditor and the management. Write to me in the chat box. Isha correct, Tanu correct. Others, I want the answer. Whose responsibility it is? Vedant correct. I want the answers, more answers. See, it is the objective of essay 210. And whose responsibility is to follow the essay? Management or auditors? The management's responsibility is to prepare the financial statement. So while preparing the financial statement, the management will follow accounting standards. Isn't it? And whose responsibility is to audit? The auditor. So the auditor will follow essays, standards on auditing. So that is why essay is to be followed by auditor, and hence the responsibility of auditor. Simple, logical. See, if you move with logics, it will become easy for you to understand. No need to mug up. Oh, whose responsibility? Auditors or management? Who will prepare? Auditor or management? No, simple. The one who's preparing the financial statement, maker checker concept. The management is making the financial statement, the auditor is checking. So maker checker concept. Maker is to see whether accounting standards are followed or not on schedule 3. And auditor will see whether standards on auditing has been followed or not. So standards on auditing is applicable and binding on the auditor. Management has nothing to do with it. Okay, are you understanding? I hope this is the last chapter of audit, and by this time the concepts of audit must have been clear to you, isn't it? Okay, so now coming to, ma'am, what are the preconditions? I said preconditions are two. Preconditions are two, and the auditor has to see whether these preconditions are present or not. So you can get exclusive question from this preconditions topic. It is important. Okay. So what is the precondition? You have to first see that the management has used the AFRF, used by management of an applicable financial reporting framework. In what? In preparation of financial statement. See, there are given 3 blocks. But if you see properly, there are only 2 conditions. The second block say preparation of financial statement. So where are you going to even apply AFRF? On the presentation, preparation and financial statements only. So no need to mug it up. Just try to understand. What are the preconditions? 2 preconditions. First, that the use of by the management of applicable financial reporting framework, and it is in continuation, preparation of financial statements. And the second, agreement of the management to the premise on which audit is conducted. Now, what is the premise? I told you premise is the fundamental responsibilities that the management and TCWG must acknowledge and agree before the auditor accepts the audit engagement. So they say you have to see whether FRF is acceptable, and you take an agreement from the management that acknowledges and understands its responsibility. It is called management representation letter, or now just a letter from the management. Are you understanding? And what responsibility of management? Management's responsibility is, who will tell me what is the management's responsibility we have done in SA 700 while we were doing the report? Who will tell me the management's responsibility? What is the prime responsibility of management? Let me see how many of you are actually revising audit. What are the responsibilities of management? You are in the last chapter of audit. Let me see. Preparation and presentation of financial statements. Okay, Pooja, done. What are the other responsibility? Only this responsibility? Oh, Vedant is saying prepare financial statement as per application of SA standards on auditing. Vedant, Vedant, Achal, my question is what are the responsibilities of management? Vedant, your answer is wrong. Prepare financial statement as per applicable standards on auditing and accounting standards. Will the management see to standards on auditing? Okay, that was by mistake. It is only as per accounting standard and schedule 3. Okay, as per applicable financial reporting framework. That is why we call applicable. What is applicable? Accounting standards and schedule 3, isn't it? What else are the responsibilities of management apart from preparation and furnishing true and correct explanation whenever asked? Management responsibility for preparation of financial statements are applicable. Okay, Golti Anil, what other responsibilities does a audit management has? Only this is the responsibility of management. Only this is the responsibility of management. We have done in detail. Good, Pooja. Very good. Very good. Very near to. Okay, Isha, correct. See, the responsibility of management is, yes, Golti Anil, preparation and presentation of financial statement as per applicable financial reporting framework. Design, implement and maintenance of internal control for the preparation and presentation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and provide auditor with what? Access to all the information, any additional information, unrestricted access to people within the entity or from whom the auditor determined that it is necessary to obtain information and explanation or audit evidences. Not got it? See, three prime responsibility of management. Number one, it is to prepare and present. Not just preparation. They will not prepare the financial statement and keep it with themselves. They have to present it to the auditor. How will the auditor, will he dream in his dreams that, oh, the financial statements are prepared? No. It has to be presented. Will the auditor go and knock the door of the management? Please give me the financial statements. No. The management has to present the financial statements to the auditor. Okay. So preparation and presentation. Preparation alone will not work. Okay. So preparation and presentation of financial statement as per applicable financial reporting framework. Number one. Internal control. What is the design hua? Implement hua and control hua. Design, implementation and maintenance. It is maintained. It is not just implemented and then left. Any wear and tear, any updation in that control has to be dealt with accordingly. So design, implementation and maintenance of internal controls, which is required for preparation and presentation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement either due to fraud or error. And number three, to provide the auditor with what? Again, 3 points. Access to all the information which the management is aware that is relevant for the purpose of audit of financial statements. Okay. Then additional information that the auditor may request from the management for the purpose of audit. And what? Unrestricted access to persons within the entity or from whom the auditor thinks that it is necessary to obtain audit evidence from. Is it clear to all of you? See, if you understand things, last turn somebody was asking me, ma'am, it is difficult to learn. It will be difficult to learn only if you learn without understanding things. And it will not just be difficult, it will be very difficult. Because there is a human capacity to ratify things, isn't it? You just can't go on mugging 11 chapters with paragraphs and subheadings and headings. Not possible. For any human being, it is not possible. You have to understand the things. To understand, it's very, very logical. If you understand, you will remember for lifelong. And what did I say? The more you revise, the more you will remember. So if you know, you flip the pages once in 2-3 days, you will be able to just keep it in your mind forever. Not just for CA intermediate, for your finals and for your future as well. Okay? Because audit is one subject that is never going to leave you. But ICAI's recommended principle printed answers, ma'am. Who said Golti Anil? Not at all. Not at all. I always say no printed answers. Yes, we focus on keywords, on terminologies. Key terminologies. This is why I ask you to mention those terminologies. Otherwise, ICAI is not expecting you to rectify from the book. Yes, Archer. Very correct. Golti Anil, you have a misconception that ICAI is recommending printed answers. No? Then you take out the printout from the book and you go and paste it there. It is not that. ICAI is more on testing your conceptual clarity through case studies. Now you tell me, how can you write printed answers? They are asking case study, case scenario type of questions. You just cannot give printed answers. Are you understanding, Goldie Anil? You have to explain. You will not write with reference to the case study, you will not get marks. Suppose you just write the provision, you will be awarded likewise. I always tell you, if a question comes, Mr. P, Q, R and associates are chartered accountants and then they are doing like this, just tell as an auditor recommend, are the contentions of CA correct, are the action taken by PQR Limited is correct. So you have to, first you tell the provision, you tell what as per accounting standard it is, and then you have to write PQR, the contention of PQR and associate is not correct. So unless and until you understand things, you will not be able to relate and give the answer likewise. Are you understanding, Goldie Anil? It's a wrong conception, it's a wrong myth that ICAI is asking you. Not at all. They are more on checking your conceptual clarity. Gone are the days when you used to just write the answers like that. That is why we are focusing more on conceptual clarities. We are taking revisionary classes which are based on case studies. Yes, yes, Achal, very true. Okay, so there are revisionary classes from ICAI that focus only exclusively on how you write the answers, how are case study questions welcomed by the students. So all these things are taken care of. Okay, so if you understand, like, what are the preconditions? Two preconditions: that use by management of an acceptable financial reporting framework for the preparation of financial statement. Okay, and agreement of management or to the premise on which audit is conducted. Now, what are the premise? Okay, what are the premise? So this is what the premise is, that you are accepting from the management and TCWG that they have fulfilled their responsibility. And what are the responsibilities? See, in order to establish whether the preconditions of an audit are present, the auditor shall determine whether the financial reporting framework is acceptable, means as per applicable financial reporting framework, and obtain an agreement from management that it acknowledges and understands its responsibility. What are the responsibility? Preparation of financial statement in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework, including with relevant and their fair presentation. Then, for such internal control, as management consider necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. And third, to provide the auditor with three things: access to all the information of which management is aware and is relevant for the preparation of financial statements, such as record, documentation, and other matters. Number two, additional information. This is just the records that management is aware of. Any additional information that auditor may request from management for the purpose of audit. And third, unrestricted access to person within the entity from whom the auditor determines it necessary to obtain audit evidence. Is it too difficult for you to understand? Is it too difficult for you to understand? Write to me in the chat box. Okay. All right. So have you all understood? Can we just go through it once again? There are two preconditions. What are preconditions? Use by management of applicable financial reporting framework for the preparation of financial statement and agreement of the management to the premise. And what are the premises? Premise are the basic responsibilities. And now what are the responsibility? Preparation and presentation of financial statements as per applicable financial reporting framework. Design, implementation of and maintenance of internal control. Isn't it? Then provide auditor with three things. What three things? Access to all the information, additional information, unrestricted access to people within the entity. Okay, see, even if you write these keywords, what are the keywords now I'm telling you? Preparation and presentation of financial reporting framework as per financial statement as per applicable reporting framework. This is the keyword. Then implementation of internal controls. Second keyword. Then provide auditor with what are the keywords? See, I have highlighted. Access to all the information. If you underline this and write again in your words, which is necessary for the auditor to obtain from the management, it is fine. Then additional information. The word additional information should be underlined, should be highlighted. Highlighted not with the highlighter, but whatever black pen you are using, with the same pen, just underline. Additional information that auditor requests from the management for the purpose of audit. Simple. That you can write in your own words. Then unrestricted access to people within the entity. This is the keyword. I have specifically highlighted the keywords for you to remember and see what the keywords are, because some of you fail to understand what are keywords, and that is absolutely genuine on your part. So we as teachers, we try to teach you this, that what are the keywords, what is expected from you to write in the exam. Are you all understanding, dear students? Isha, what? No, ma'am. Acha, okay, when I asked it is that difficult. Okay. So have you all understood this? Can we proceed? Okay, show me thumbs up, all of you, if you have understood this. Others also, please let me know. Anyone, any doubt? Anyone, any doubt in whatever we have done till now? Please ask right now. Okay, all right. So we are proceeding now. It says agreement on audit engagement terms. Now, what is this? They say if it is in law, if it as per law, okay, then it is fine. They say except in cases where it is required under law to get accounts audited. Okay. Audit is a matter of contracts between auditor and the client. Obviously, that is why the engagement letter exists, a written document exists, isn't it? It is therefore important for both the auditor and client that each party should be clear about the nature of engagement. It must be reduced to writing. Reduced to writing means brought down into paper and pen, brought down in a written form, and should exactly specify the scope of audit. What is the actual scope of audit? Because as you all know, that there is not just audit engagement. There are other assurance services also, related services also, agreed upon procedures also, isn't it? Review engagement also. So you all are aware of there is not just audit assurance services, there are other services also. So what if the client is asking the auditor to perform that service? Then the engagement letter should mention that it is that task of only to perform audit. It is not so. Whatever assignment you are getting as an auditor, you should have an engagement letter to it. It's not that only the audit engagement will have an engagement letter. Are you all understanding this or not? This is a very practical thing and I am telling you. You all think that only audit engagement require engagement letter. No. If a client is coming to you for any other related services, for example, compilation of financial statements, you prepare an engagement letter and write in that your scope of work is only to compile the financial statements. The client is coming to you for review engagement. You write engagement letter, your scope, daira. Scope means to what extent are you going to perform this engagement. You write there that your scope is only to review the financial statements. They have come up to check the inventory count. You mention in the engagement letter that my job as an CA is only to verify the inventory count. Okay. For example, if it is to test the payroll system, you write, my job is restricted to check the payrolls process. Are you understanding? Review projections. You write an engagement letter, my job is only to review the projections. So you are not providing any opinion and you write there, no opinions provided for the same. You are not giving any opinion. You are not qualifying. You are not giving adverse opinion. You are not giving a disclaimer. You are not giving a clean report. Nothing of that sort. You are not reporting on the same. You are only doing that job. Are you understanding? And we also write a line there that it is only used for internal purposes for which it has been asked to. The management is asking, we are restricting it to that. It should not be circulated anywhere like this. The reports. Are you understanding? If the client comes to you to provide him a certificate of his net worth, when you become a chartered accountant, you will get work like this if you are into practice, to prepare a certificate of net worth. So you say that, oh, you provide an engagement letter stating my job is to certify on this. You are not auditing, and hence no opinion is given. Are you all understanding this? Why? Because audit assurance require reasonable assurance. Whereas you all have studied review and other related services, you give a low level of assurance. Reasonable assurance is a high assurance that there might be a mistake, but not to that extent that will change the decision of users of financial statements. Low level assurance, you are giving a low level assurance. Are you understanding, dear students? You know this, that audit assurance engagement, it gives a high level of assurance, reasonable assurance. Reasonable means high level, whereas review and other related services, you give a low level assurance. What is low level assurance? Can anyone tell me? What is low level assurance? What is low level assurance? Okay, I will explain you with some example. Are you all ready to listen to what low level assurance is? No, Tanu. That is a form of engagement. In review, you give low level assurance. But what exactly is low level? No, Achal, it is not reasonable assurance. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance. Limited assurance. Yes, limited assurance. You are giving a low level assurance. You are saying nothing has come to my knowledge which make me to believe that the financial statements are not true and fair, or this particular thing is not there. Nothing has come to my knowledge. Are you understanding? That is called a low level assurance. Are you all understanding this or not? Okay, I will give you an example of low level assurance. Are you all ready to listen to some example? Are you all ready? Okay. Suppose high level assurance is you are giving a very reasonable assurance is a very high level assurance. Okay. Suppose you have a small brother. Okay. Your CA exams are about to begin, and also your younger brother is going to have his internal exams or tests for the schools. Okay. Your mother is going out of the house and she's telling you that please see that your younger brother is studying properly. Okay. Now you say, Mama, how will I see? I have to study my own subjects. How will I study? Please make him study in some other room. Otherwise, he will disturb me. This is what you usually do. She says, okay. Your younger brother is studying in a different room. You are studying in a different room. Okay. What is happening? You have opened the door of your younger brother's room where he is studying so that you can take a sneak peek or you can just see. Okay. So you are studying, and then after an hour or so you felt thirsty. The water bottle you were carrying, the water has almost finished. You just went to the refrigerator to fill your water bottle, and then you just peeped in his room and you saw he's studying. Okay. Then after an hour you felt hungry. You went outside, prepare a sandwich for yourself, and then you peeped. You say, oh, he's studying. Okay, your mother is back after 5 or 6 hours. She asked you, was he studying? What will you say? Yes or no? What will you say? Yes or no? See, it might be possible that your younger brother is very clever, which they are. Okay. He automatically gets something that, oh, Didi or Bhaiya is coming. Let me open the book once again. And he was doing something else before that. Quite possible, I'm saying. Not necessary it is the case, but quite possible. But you will tell your mother, whenever I saw him, he was studying. The rest I don't know. So you say, nothing has come to my knowledge which made me to believe that he was not studying. So what kind of assurance you are giving? A low level assurance. Why? Because just twice in 6 hours you watched and he was studying. Maybe the rest of the time he was watching some reels or something like that. But the moment you saw, he was studying. So that is called a low level assurance. Is this example of low level assurance clear to you all? Will you remember low level assurance? Will you now remember what is a low level assurance? All of you? Okay. So see, what does it say? It says, the auditor shall agree the terms of audit engagement with the management or those charged with governance as appropriate. The agreed terms of the audit engagement shall be recorded in audit engagement letter or other suitable form of written agreement. The audit engagement letter is sent by auditor to his client. Now see, I have drawn a diagram also that the client sends the appointment letter to the auditor, and auditor in return gives the engagement letter to the client. Okay. All right. Then it is in the interest of both the auditor and the client to issue an engagement letter so that a possibility of misunderstanding is reduced to a great extent. Obviously, there is no misunderstanding. This is why you create a contract also. You will write a contract in a written form that Mr. A enters into a contract with Mr. B to sell this product at this rate on this date for rupees this much. Isn't it? So that there is no misunderstanding. Whenever you tell your friend that, okay, I will treat you, say, okay, stamp paper pe likh ke do. You write in a stamp paper and give it to me. This is what you say. I don't know, this generation might say you write somewhere else in social media, or you post it on your Insta so that the entire world knows that you have committed with me this. But in our times, we used to say, write it on a stamp paper and give it to me so that it is an assurance that you will do this. Okay. Okay, Achal is saying even I used to do that. So you belong to our era. Rest of the people, they might say, oh, you put it on Insta so that entire people come to know that you have committed with me this. Okay, all right. So now the engagement. What are contents of engagement letter? Again, a very important question from your exam point of view. Okay. So till now we have studied that if it is as per law, fine. Otherwise, enter into a contract. You make an agreement where nature and scope of the auditors and management is mentioned, and that is called engagement letter. What are the contents of engagement letter? The objective and scope of audit. What is the objective of auditor? To provide reasonable assurance, to provide low level assurance. What is the overall objective of the auditor? Okay. The responsibilities of auditor, the responsibilities of management, and identification of applicable financial reporting framework for the preparation of financial statements. And what else? Reference to expected form and content of any report to be issued by the auditor. For example, if it is not an audit engagement, if it is audit engagement, he will give an independent auditor's report, isn't it? If it is a certification engagement, he will give a certificate. If it is a review engagement, he will provide documents related to that. So, reference to expected form and content of any of the report which is issued by the auditor, and a statement that there may be circumstances in which report may differ from its expected format. Means it could be a special purpose framework financial statement. So, again, a format of the same. Are you all understanding this? Are you all understanding this? Okay, so how are you going to remember this? Objective and scope. See, I have made a chart. Responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management. Now, again, the other point, identification of applicable financial reporting framework. Whose responsibility it is? It is the responsibility of management. So, management responsibility, identification of applicable financial reporting framework. Responsibility of auditor, reference to the extent and form and content of the audit report, expected form and content of the audit report. Isn't it? It is not expected, it is expected. The P is missing there. Okay. Is it clear to all of you? What is expected form and content? Daksh, I told you whatever the engagement is all about. For example, if it is an audit engagement, you will give a specimen of your audit report. You will attach it there. You will say that your reporting, you will mention on the engagement letter, isn't it? That our job, our scope of work is to audit, to conduct the audit for the financial statement period from this and this, and to give opinion thereon. Okay, so you know it is an audit report. For example, it is a review of projections. So you will write there that our scope and objective is to review, and then what will you give? You will give a projections of the same. And our responsibility is to provide projected report for the same. So this is the reference. What reference are you giving to what kind of form or content that engagement will have? Are you understanding, Daksh, now? Okay. All right. Anyone, any doubt till now? See, the very first line we studied that if it is as per law, it is fine. Now it says, if law or regulation prescribes in sufficient detail the terms of audit engagement, the auditor need not to record them in a written agreement. This is what we studied, the very first line. See, if it is as per law, it is fine. Otherwise, it is a contract. Except in the cases where it is required per law. For example, what happens in certain cases, there is automatically by default a form that law has prescribed. Okay, like in your quotation or tender. So they give that format. So if that is the case of the letter itself, engagement letter itself, it is fine. Otherwise, they say, except for the fact that such law regulation applies and management acknowledges and understands its responsibility. But again, you have to make sure that management is fulfilling its responsibility, has done the needful with respect to either preparation of financial statements, or if it is a review, or it is a compilation, they have even provided the financial statement which is to be compiled. Are you understanding this, all of you? So, in short, if law as per law, fine. If not, contract. Prepare an engagement letter which defines the nature and scope. Is it clear to all of you? Please show me a thumbs up if it is clear. Daksh, it is the reference to the expected form and content. That what reference are you given? What kind of assignment? Is it an audit assignment? Is it a review assignment? Okay, is it agreed upon procedures? Ma'am, if it is asked in exam, then we need to write in detail the responsibility. What responsibility, Tanu? The responsibility of management. What responsibility are you asking, Tanu? Please specify. No. See, if this question comes that what are the contents of engagement, letter of engagement? What are the contents of engagement letter? You will write responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management. There you don't have to elaborate that what is the responsibility of management and what are the responsibility of management, except to write that auditor's responsibility is to give the reference to the expected form and content of the report, and responsibility of management is identification of applicable financial reporting framework. That's it. There you need not to give the separate points that provide auditor with the additional information or all information or implementation of internal control. Okay. See, you have to understand what the question asks. If it asks contents, just write these 4 points. If it is asked the preconditions of the premise or the responsibility of management, then you have to give again those 3 points, and under the responsibility of management to provide the auditor, again then 3 points. To give access to information, provided additional information and unrestricted access to people within the entity. That point. Is it clear to all of you? See, this is what you get confused with during the exam. You don't know which part to write when. Okay. So for that, you need to understand what the question is asking. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? Okay, let's do from the handwritten notes. Are you all seeing the notes? Can you all see the notes? Okay. See, it's saying essay 210. Agreeing the terms. See, I have made also 2 people agreeing to one term and condition. Agreeing the terms of audit engagement. The objective is to accept or continue an audit engagement only when the basis upon which it is to be performed has been agreed through. How? Establishing whether the preconditions for audit are present and there is a common understanding between auditor and management. Now, what are the preconditions? That the use by the management of applicable financial reporting framework for the preparation of financial statements and agreement of management to the premise on which audit is conducted. To establish whether the precondition for the audit are present, the auditor shall determine what? Whether financial reporting framework is acceptable. Obtain agreement of management for responsibility of preparation of financial statement in accordance with AFRF. Internal control, that is, if you write implementation of internal control or dim of internal control, it is absolutely correct. Okay, and then to provide the auditor with access to all the information, additional information and unrestricted access to person within the entity. Okay, then agreement on audit engagement terms. See, auditor, client, and then auditor is sending the engagement letter. Why? So that the possibility of misunderstanding is reduced to a great extent. What are the contents of engagement letter? It defines the scope and objective of audit, the responsibilities of auditor, responsibilities of management, identification of applicable financial reporting framework. Point number 4, whose responsibility is it? Write to me in the chat box. Whose responsibility it is? Identification of applicable financial reporting framework. Come on, write to me in the chat box. Whose responsibility it is? Auditors or management's? Pooja is writing auditor. Pooja. Identification of applicable financial reporting framework for the preparation. Is it auditor's responsibility, Pooja? Pooja, I want the answer from you. No, it is management's responsibility, Pooja. Identification of applicable financial reporting framework. Who's going to prepare the financial statements? The management. So it is the management's responsibility. I've shown you the chart also. Pooja, is it now clear to you, beta? Pooja, have you understood? Pooja, is there any doubt? Please ask. You want to unmute yourself and talk to me directly? Pooja, is it clear? I'm waiting for just your reply. The rest of them have answered correctly. Okay. Technical team, please unmute Pooja. She wishes to talk to me. Yes, Daksh. It includes all the accounting standards which are applicable to that entity, obviously. Okay? Yes, Pooja.
मैम लेकिन जब ऑडिटर मतलब जिस टाइम ऑडिटर ऑडिट एंगेजमेंट के लिए वो करेगा उस टाइम तो वही मतलब देखेगा ना कि ये इस एंटिटी के लिए एप्लीकेबल है या नहीं है, तो इसलिए मैंने ऑडिटर किया।
बेटा, एप्लीकेबल फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क जो उस एंटिटी के लिए एप्लीकेबल है वो कौन देखेगा? वो मैनेजमेंट देखेगा। ऑडिटर बाद में चेक कर सकता है कि उन्होंने सही किया है या गलत किया है, बट लगाएगा कौन? इनिशियली आइडेंटिफाई कौन करेगा कि क्या लगना है इसमें?
ओके मतलब मैंने उसी से सोचा कि ऑडिटर चेक करेगा तो मतलब ऑडिटर भी तो पहचानेगा ना कि इस एंटिटी को कौन सा लगेगा।
ये तो इंगेजमेंट लेटर के समय ऑडिटर तो इंगेजमेंट लेटर जब एक्सेप्ट हो जाएगा, ऑडिट करने जाएगा, फिर देखेगा। बट प्रिपरेशन और एप्लीकेबिलिटी ऑफ फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क तो पहले ही हो चुका होगा ना। ऑडिट एक्सेप्ट करने के बाद फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स नहीं बनेंगे। फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स पहले बन चुके होंगे फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ।
यस मैम, लेकिन मैम जैसे कि मान लो कि मैनेजमेंट ने जो एप्लीकेबल है फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क वो यूज नहीं किया है, कुछ और यूज किया है, तो उसको पहचानने के लिए तो ऑडिटर करेगा ना चेक।
ये तो बेटा, ये तो ऑडिटर जब ऑडिट करेगा तब देखेगा ना।
लेकिन
ये क्या बोल रहे हैं
है
बेटा? ये मेरी बात सुनो, ये इंगेजमेंट लेटर का कंटेंट पूछ रहा है, समझो बात को। क्वेश्चन पहले से ऑडिटर क्या बोलेगा कि आपने प्रिपेयर किए हैं फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स की नहीं। वो पहले ही थोड़ी ना चेक करने लगेगा, दिखाइए दिखाइए सही प्रिपेयर है कि नहीं है। ऐसा नहीं होगा। आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग बेटा? पहले ऑडिटर अगर काम चेक कर लेगा तो वो ऑडिट किस बात का करेगा? वो फीस किस बात की लेगा? दिस इज आफ्टर द
फ्रेमवर्क तो चेक करेगा ना। प्री कंडीशन में लिखा है कि वो पहले चेक करेगा कि मतलब फ्रेमवर्क क्या है, उसका सही फ्रेमवर्क है या नहीं है।
बेटा ये मैनेजमेंट, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय फ्रेमवर्क? ढांचा?
Yes, ma'am.
What is applicable financial reporting framework? What do we follow while preparing the financial statements? We follow accounting standards and schedule 3.
Yes,
Who
ma'am.
will prepare the financial statements as per applicable as per accounting standards and schedule 3? Who will make that? Management or auditor?
Management.
तो फिर
मतलब पहले मैनेजमेंट आइडेंटिफाई करेगा फिर ऑडिटर चेक करेगा।
बेटा आइडेंटिफाई करना यहाँ पे गलती निकालना नहीं है। आइडेंटिफाई करना मतलब कि कौन सा अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड आप में लगेगा, ये है आइडेंटिफिकेशन। अगर कंस्ट्रक्शन कंपनी है AS7 लगेगा, अगर लीजिंग कंपनी है लाइकवाइज अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड लगेगा। आई यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग पूजा? आइडेंटिफिकेशन का मतलब गलती निकालना नहीं है। आइडेंटिफिकेशन का मतलब है कि कौन सा अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड लगेगा ये देखना, आइडेंटिफाई करके अप्लाई करना।
ओके मैम, मैं इसी बात में मतलब कंफ्यूजन हो गया था कि वो
मुझे लग रहा था कि आप ये दो
था।
वर्ड से कंफ्यूज हो रहे हो कि आइडेंटिफाई ऑडिटर कर रहा है। नहीं, ऑडिटर पे कभी भी आइडेंटिफिकेशन वर्ड नहीं आएगा। इट इज ऑडिट और चेकिंग। ही विल सी whether it is done as per applicable financial reporting framework or not. Are you understanding?
यस मैम।
Identification is the management responsibility to see which accounting standard is applicable. अगर उसको गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट्स मिल रही है, क्या AS12 लगाया है? अगर फॉरेन एक्सचेंज ट्रांजैक्शन है, क्या AS11 लगाया है? ये आइडेंटिफाई
लेकिन
मैनेजमेंट
मैम,
करेगा और अप्लाई करेगा।
मैम एक और क्वेश्चन था। ये
हाँ
एंगेजमेंट
बिल्कुल।
लेटर जो है ये तो ऑडिटर देता है मैनेजमेंट को।
बिल्कुल।
तो मतलब आइडेंटिफाई, मैनेजमेंट आइडेंटिफाई करेगा तो ऑडिटर एंगेजमेंट लेटर में कैसे लिखेगा? मतलब आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ लिखा हुआ है इसके अंदर, तो यही।
बेटा ये ऑडिटर ये बोल रहा है कि मैनेजमेंट यू हैव डन दिस, this is the content, your responsibility is to identify and apply the correct accounting standards, your responsibility is to identify and apply the correct financial reporting framework। ये वो लिख रहा है कि ये आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है।
ओके।
अभी
ओके,
समझ में
थैंक
आया बेटा?
यस मैम। थैंक
क्लियर?
यू।
पक्का पूजा? एनी अदर डाउट प्लीज क्लियर। ये बहुत ही बड़ा डाउट था, पता है? ये ना ग्रामेटिकल खेल के साथ आपका डाउट था।
यस
समझ
मैम।
रहे हो आप? है ना?
यस मैम,
इंग्लिश ने
थैंक
आपको
यू।
कंफ्यूज कर दिया कि ऑडिटर आइडेंटिफाई करेगा। यही समझी थी ना कि ऑडिटर विल आइडेंटिफाई।
नहीं, मेरे दिमाग में ये था कि एंगेजमेंट लेटर जो है वो ऑडिटर बनाता है, तो मतलब एक बार वो चेक
ऑडिटर ही
करेगा।
बना? ना ना ना, बिल्कुल भी नहीं। सी, जब तक एंगेजमेंट लेटर दिया जा रहा है, ऑडिटर ने मैनेजमेंट की बुक्स देख, क्लाइंट की बुक्स देखी तक नहीं है बेटा।
ओके।
अभी बुक्स देखी ही नहीं है, अभी अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर भेजा है, इसने एंगेजमेंट एक्सेप्ट करके एंगेजमेंट लेटर भेज दिया कि हम अपॉइंटमेंट एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं। अब इसके बाद जो डेट, इसमें फीस भी लिखी रहती है, पता है एंगेजमेंट लेटर में, कि हमारी फीस ये है, इस पे अग्री करता है तब जाके फाइनल होती है बातें। और उसमें डेट लिखता है कि इस दिन हम आपके यहाँ आने वाले हैं। आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग पूजा? जाके ऑडिट
ओके।
स्टार्ट होता है। इट कैन नॉट स्टार्ट, वही उन्होंने आज फोन किया, अब मैं आपको सीए की तरह या ऑडिटर की तरह चाहता हूँ, बोले यहाँ मैं कल आ रहा हूँ। नो, नॉट एट ऑल। आने करने में ये चीजें हैं, अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर भेजो, एक्सेप्ट करो, एंगेजमेंट लेटर भेजो, वो एक्सेप्ट करे, वो दोनों का साइन हो, तब जाके ऑडिट स्टार्ट होगा पूजा। हल्के में
ओके।
मत लो ऑडिट को। ऑडिट इज नॉट डन लाइक दैट।
ओके मैम।
Okay, you are a chartered accountant. You have to make sure all the written documentation and the formalities have been done. Then only will you accept the audit. अभी हम लोग आगे पढ़ेंगे कि क्या ऐसा है जो रोकेगा ऑडिटर को एक्सेप्ट करने से। ठीक है?
ओके।
क्लियर? पक्का?
यस मैम, थैंक यू।
Okay, very good. Anyone else? Any doubt? If already it's prepared by management, then only the auditor will check its primary responsibility. No, understood. Okay, all right. And the reference to the expected form and content of any report to be issued by the auditor in which the report may differ from its expected form and content. Also, if it is different from the form and content, the auditor will mention the same. ठीक है? ये responsibility किसकी है? Auditor की. All right. Okay. But if the preconditions for what were the preconditions? What were the preconditions? Preconditions used by the management of an applicable financial reporting framework for the presentation of financial statement and agreement of the management that the premise on which the audit is conducted. ये दोनों अगर present नहीं है तो क्या होगा? They say the auditor shall discuss the matter with the management. The auditor shall discuss the matter with the management. Unless required by law or regulation, the auditor shall not accept the proposed audit engagement. He is seeing that the preconditions nahi hai, so I am not going to accept the audit engagement. Okay, let's see from the study material, what does it say? It say, okay, first come to this example of engagement letter. They have given a very good format. Can all of you see to this format? Write to me in the chat box. Can all of you see this format? Okay, see. See, it is from the auditors. So have they written to the board of directors, to the client. The objective and scope of audit. You have requested us to audit the financial statement of Pristine Products Limited, which comprise of what? Balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, cash flow, ended also, the period also they have mentioned, and the notes to financial statement, that is your notes to accounts, okay, including a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. Very important. We are pleased to confirm our acceptance and our understanding for this audit engagement by means of this letter. We are accepting by means of this letter. If this letter is not given, acceptance is not considered. The objectives of our audit are to obtain reasonable assurance whether the financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or it is an audit engagement. So the engagement letter is drafted likewise. Okay, and to issue auditor's report, a reference to the expected form and content. See, reference here. Issue auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance, he's telling, is a high level of assurance, but it is not a guarantee that audit conducted in accordance with standards of auditing will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatements can arise from either fraud or error and are considered material if individually or in aggregate they could be reasonably to be expected to influence economic decisions of the users on the basis of which they take the decisions on financial statements. Now comes the responsibility of auditor. We will conduct the audit in accordance with standards on auditing issued by the ICAI. Those standards require that we comply with ethical requirements. What are ethical requirements? Can anyone write to me in the chat box? What are ethical requirements? What are ethical requirements? Pooja, just once. And it is not ethical requirement. We have done integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, professional behavior and confidentiality. These are, yes. तभी तो देखो, in addition to that, they have mentioned we exercise professional judgment because professional judgment was not there. Professional behavior was there. And to maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. Professional skepticism again was not there. Isn't it? Professional skepticism was mentioned in independence of mind and independence in appearance. Do you all forgot that? Do you all remember that, students, or you have forgotten? Okay. Identify and assess the risk of material misstatement of the financial statements, whether due to fraud or error. Design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks and to obtain audit evidence that's sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. The risk is not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud higher than that one resulting from error. As fraud may involve collusion, forgery. They say, fraud is difficult to detect. Why? Because it is intentional concealment or window dressing of a financial statement that you might not get aware of. Appropriateness of accounting policies, whether the accounting policies applied by the management are proper or not. Reasonable accounting estimates, related disclosures made by the management. It concludes on the appropriateness management use of the going concern. Okay, then if we conclude that the material uncertainty exists, we are required to draw attention to our audit report to related disclosure in the financial statements. Okay, then, or if such disclosures are inadequate to modify opinion, our conclusions are based on the audit evidence obtained up to the date of auditor's report. However, future or conditions may cause the company to cease on as a going concern. What if some earthquake happens overnight? What if a flood or drought comes overnight? So we are not responsible for that. Okay. Then overall presentation structure and content of financial statements. Okay. Then because of inherent limitations, what do they give? They give a reasonable assurance. Because of inherent limitations, together with the inherent limitations of internal control, there are unavoidable risks that some material misstatement may not be detected, though audit is properly planned and performed as per SA. Then comes the responsibility of management. See, preparation of financial statements, going concern basing, responsibility of selection and consistent application of appropriate accounting policy, responsibility for making judgments and estimates that are reasonable and prudent. What is prudence? What is prudence say? What does prudence says? Forgotten your class 11 12th accounts, huh? That you record your income on actual basis, isn't it? Due diligence? No, Isha. It is not due diligence. You are accruing, you are following accrual, like you are anticipating all the losses, but you will record the income as and when received and not on accrual basis. This is called prudence, isn't it? Okay. Then, for such internal control as management determines is necessary to enable for the preparation of financial statements, to provide us with access to all information, additional information and unrestricted access. Fees are billed for itna plus applicable. If the auditor is registered under GST, he will also charge GST. Out of pocket expenses will be raised after the completion. For example, if he has to shuttle from one place to another, he may ask for the reimbursement of the conveyance also. Reporting. See, we will report to the members of Pristine Products Limited whether, in our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view or not. Come to the last paragraph. Please sign, return the attached copy of this letter to indicate your acknowledgement. Means sign it and return so that we know that you have acknowledged it. Okay. An agreement with the arrangement of our audit for the financial statement. See, sign of the management of your Pristine Limited and then the sign of the chartered accountant. Did you all understand what engagement letter is all about? If you become CA or auditor, what should we write as an auditor if we ever have to decline? We will come to that, Daksh. We will come to that. Don't worry. Achal, what is no, ma'am? Achal, I did not understand what you mean by no, ma'am. Achal, do you have any doubt, beta? Not understood engagement letter? What have you not understood, Achal? It is a specimen given. It is given in very elaborate, but we have done. What are the contents? See, come to the contents. Scope and objective. Achal, contents. What were the contents of audit report? Come on, tell me. Objective and scope written. Responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management, and then identification of applicable financial reporting framework that is under the responsibility of management, and reference to the expected form and content of the report is under the responsibility of auditor. Achal, what is not clear, beta? Achal, what is not clear, bacha? All the 5 points of the content of engagement letter is mentioned here. See the headings, Achal? Yes, Daksh. Yes. Achal, I'm waiting for your reply, beta. What is involved in this? Achal, the contents of engagement letter. See again, objective and scope. Okay. Then responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management. Then under the responsibility of management, they have mentioned that there is a identification of applicable financial reporting framework, and under the responsibility of auditor, they have mentioned reference to expected form and content. See, he is written. Achal, please let me know what is that you have not understood, beta. You want me to take you? I understood now. Okay. Anyone else who see, don't be afraid of asking. Okay. If you will ask me 1,000 times, I will repeat to you 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways. So you should be first asking your doubts. Do I ever get angry on you if you ask me your doubts? Huh? Are you afraid of asking me your doubts? Please don't be. Do I look that dangerous that you don't ask me your doubt? So please, if any one of you who has not understood, please let me know. I will try explaining once again in some other way. Obviously, I'll be explaining in English only, but language I will not change, but the way of explaining might be different. So please ask me if you have any doubt. All right, no doubts. Okay. Can we take a break for 10 minutes, short break? Because I don't want to interrupt when we start with this topic. What if the preconditions for an audit are not present? Should we take a break? Okay. Okay. So technical team, we are going for a break for 10 minutes. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let's come back and then we continue. All right. Thank you all. Show me a thumbs up if you all are back. Okay. Archer is asking me, ma'am, in the engagement letter, why will we write auditor's responsibility? First of all, it is not we who are writing the auditor's responsibility. It is the auditor himself who's writing his own responsibility. Archer, are you understanding? Auditor is preparing the engagement letter where he is writing his responsibility and the management's responsibility. Why his responsibility? Because he's saying that the scope and audit or scope and objective is this, and my responsibility is so and so. My responsibility is to give a reasonable assurance. My responsibility is to give a limited assurance. What is his responsibility? Are you understanding, Archer? Achal, he is writing his responsibility to make sure that audit engagement is why is it there even exist? What is the reason? So that they get to know ki what all things that the auditor will see to. He will see to whether they have applied the accounting standards or not properly, whether they have disclosed the accounting policies properly. So this is what auditor is telling, that see management, my responsibility is this. Come here, Achal, come to this. What is he saying? See, what is auditor's responsibility? That there is no risk of material statement. Then he is saying that it is, we are giving a reasonable assurance but not an absolute assurance. We are not giving any guarantee that the financial statements will not contain any fraud or error. He has also to save his own skin. He will see that what internal controls they have applied, whether it is properly applied or not. He will see whether the accounting policies applied are appropriate or not. So this is all his responsibility, so that even the management knows what is the auditor going to do. Achal, are you understanding? Okay, all right. So coming to our next topic, what happens if the preconditions are not present? So two things will happen. Unless required by law, if the preconditions are not present, what will the auditor do? He will discuss the matter with the management. Okay, what is he saying? If the auditor has determined that the financial reporting framework to be applied in the preparation of financial statement is unacceptable, management, whatever they have prepared is hopeless. So, if the preconditions for an audit are not present, the auditor shall discuss the matter with management. Unless required by law or regulation, the auditor will not accept the proposed audit engagement. Why? If the auditor has determined that the financial reporting framework to be applied is not acceptable, it is not acceptable means they have applied it altogether wrongly. Okay? If the agreement of management is not obtained on the matters relating to understanding of responsibility of the management say, no, preparation of financial statement is not my responsibility, auditor. We have just prepared some Excel files where you have to suggest how to convert that into Tally or Busy or whatever software, or how to maintain a books of accounts. We do not know. So if that is the case, the auditor cannot take everything on himself. So what it is saying, if the agreement of management is not obtained on matters relating to understanding of the responsibility of management on preparation of financial statement, internal control, management says, no, it is not my responsibility. You prepare internal control, you design, implement internal control. Okay, providing access to all the information. Management says in the books of accounts, additional information we are not going to give. You will not question any of the employee of our company. Nobody you are going to question. That is the condition. So they are imposing condition. So if this is the matter, you tell me, will you accept will get back to you. Fine, if that is the case. Otherwise, he will say, sorry, I will not accept the assignment. There. Are you understanding? Fixed assets, they haven't shown. Bank statement, bank blank. No figure for the bank has been showed. So that case, what is he going to do? He will say no. The preconditions are not present. The management is not accepting its own responsibility. Then sorry, even I'm not going to accept. See, he made the engagement letter and he sent it to management. Management read it. Management said, oh, preparation of financial statements, not our headache. Internal controls, not our headache. And auditor is asking for information and explanation. Sorry, we are not going to provide. Yes, he will not accept the audit engagement, Archer. He will not accept the audit engagement. Because all these things are happening prior to acceptance of audit, isn't it? Engagement letter is prior to acceptance of audit. Are you understanding? All this story is whatever we are doing is prior to acceptance of audit. What will happen after the acceptance of audit is altogether another story. Are you understanding this or not? Suppose you go for audit and the management says, sorry, I will not prepare the financial statements. Internal controls, your headache. Information explanation, we are not going to give. Whatever is there in the books, please accept likewise. Any other audit evidence, we are not going to give you. So you will not accept. Simple enough. Achal, is it now clear to you, beta? Yes, Achal, yes. Okay. Now, limitations on the scope prior to audit engagement acceptance. Now, what would we see is limitation? That he is not able to exercise his independence, isn't it? It says if the management or those charged with governance impose limitation on scope of audit, they say no auditor, you will not see to profit and loss account, you will only see to balance sheet. Okay, they say limitation on the scope of auditor's work in terms of proposed audit engagements, such that the auditor believes that the limitation will result in the auditor disclaiming an opinion on the financial statement. What do you mean by disclaiming? Where the auditor, when do you give a disclaimer? Come on, tell me, write to me in the chat box. When do you give a disclaimer? Let me see. You all have done this with me. Let me see how many of you remember. When does an auditor give a disclaimer of opinion? Yes, Pooja. When he is unable to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. So he thinks that I will not be able to get evidence. They are providing limitation. They will not let me, gather evidences or ask for information. They will not give me. So in that case, I have to give a disclaimer. So he shall not accept such a limited engagement as an audit engagement unless required by law or regulation to do so. Yes, all of you have answered correct. Are you understanding? They say the limitation is so grave that it will result in giving you a disclaimer of opinion. So it's better that I do not accept. Is this point clear to all of you prior to audit engagement limitation? Come on, write to me in the chat box. Is it clear to all of you? Goldie, not just some information. It is grave to that an extent that they will not let auditor gather evidences only, not just some information. Are you understanding, Goldie? Okay, then. Acceptance of a change in terms of audit engagement. What do they say? They say that there is a change in the terms of audit engagement. Whatever audit engagement letter you have prepared, okay, they are going to change it now. So they say the auditor shall not agree to the change in the terms of audit engagement where there is no reasonable justification for doing so. What does this mean? before the completion of audit, like see, the audit engagement is prepared, engagement letter is prepared, now you go in for audit. Okay, and now they're saying sorry, there is a limitation on the scope, the auditor feels that way. So he will say, even after the engagement letter is accepted, I'm not going to accept it in this engagement, this audit. Okay, fine. Then the management is saying, sir, I want to make some changes to the engagement letter. Well, what change do you wish to? So the auditor will see that is the change they are demanding, is it justifiable or is it not? Is it reasonable or is it not? See, if he says that there was some misunderstanding, the client wanted to get review done and by mistake they have said we want to get audit done. So what will this happen? This is altogether a change in the scope of audit, scope of work only for engagement. Are you understanding? Altogether, they say, no, sir, it is not audit, it is just review. Please change it. Are you understanding? Are you understanding? Altogether, a new scope coming up. So he will say, okay. Now, there the auditor has to take his call that whether the change they are asking for, is it having a reasonable, justifiable ground or not? Okay. So if request from entity to change the terms of engagement, then the auditor will see whether a reasonable justification exists for the same or not. Are you understanding? For example, if you go to your school and you miss some exam and you tell your teacher, ma'am, I had this problem, that is why I could not give my exam. So, ma'am, if she sees that you have certain grave or reasonable justification for not appearing for the exam, she might think of you appearing or giving a separate exam. But if you say, no, 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 this futile excuses I will not accept. Like that. Okay, all right. So then, a request from the entity for the auditor to change in terms of audit engagement may result from a change in circumstances affecting the need for the service. Means there is a misunderstanding. There is a misunderstanding as to the nature of an audit as originally requested. Means they have applied for a wrong engagement services. First is a change in circumstances. They say, sir, we have not got our books of accounts ready. Please delay it. Okay, the change in terms and engagement, terms of engagement. Then there is a misunderstanding. Sir, you thought it is audit, but it is not audit, it is a review engagement. Okay, accepted. There, the auditor thinks there is a restriction on scope of audit engagement, whether imposed by the management or caused by other circumstances. The management has not imposed. But still, when the auditor visited the premises, he thinks that no, I will not be able to work in this situation. Okay, the auditor considers a justification given for the request. He thinks that yes, if they are demanding for a change, it is justifiable. Okay, for request, particularly the implication of a restriction on the scope of audit engagement. So they say that what will happen, auditor? Okay, let's do from here first, then you will be able to understand better. Limitation on the scope, audit engagement acceptance. If the auditor believes that the limitation will result in disclaiming an opinion, he shall not accept the engagement unless required by law. Acceptance of change in the terms of audit engagement. The auditor shall agree to the change except when there are reasonable justification. Okay, or for that matter, if there is no reasonable justification, he will not accept. Request from the entity is requesting the change in the terms of audit engagement when reasonable justification exists. The auditor shall consider the nature of the change and its impact on restriction. Will this change in the audit engagement letter, will it impose some restriction? Again, he has to give a call. And if he thinks again there is a restriction, he should not accept it. But likewise, they say, if there is a reasonable justification, a change in circumstances leading to misunderstanding with reference to nature originally requested, like I told you, the nature of service has changed. It was a compilation service, you thought it to be an audit service. So now this is a misunderstanding, so it has to be changed. But if there is no reasonable justification, a change relating to information that is incorrect, incomplete, and unsatisfactory, then the auditor will not accept it. Are you understanding? They say if there is no reasonable justification. And when can this happen? When a change relating to the information that is incorrect. They are saying we have prepared the financial statements, but again this is not followed. That is incorrect. Financial statements are incomplete. They want to write it in the engagement letter. If it is unsatisfactory, for example, the auditor is unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding receivables. Okay, regarding your receivables for your debtors. Okay, and the entity asks for the audit engagement to be changed to review engagement just because the auditor limits his collection of audit evidence to avoid a qualified opinion or a disclaimer. So this is unsatisfactory. Okay, why? Because just like he came for audit and you were saying, sir, okay, you are not able to collect evidence, leave it. You change your engagement to a review engagement. Now, this is something wrong. Are you understanding my point or not? Originally, it is like, sir, it is a review engagement. Then it is fine. But after acceptance of engagement, the auditor wishes to ask for more evidences. And you say, no, I will not provide. And then you say, okay, leave it, change your engagement. Is that justifiable? Come on, write to me in the chat box. Is this reason justifiable? It isn't. So, what is that? It is not a reasonable justification. Okay, right. Then, the auditor should consider before agreeing to change in lower level of assurance. Why? Because audit was supposed to give a high level of assurance, but review will give a lower level of assurance. Whether there is a reasonable justification for doing so, assess any legal and contractual implications. He has to see that if he accepts to this change, are there any legal or contractual obligation that is applicable? He has to also see to that. Okay, and if there are reasonable justification, the audit work performed to the date of change may be relevant to the change engagement. See, if the reasons are justifiable, he will change the engagement. But then again, work done engagement has been changed, it will stand to be valid. Okay. However, the revised work to be performed with respect to revised engagement and avoid confusion, the report on related service would not include reference to the original audit engagement. This is the case where originally it was decided that it is audit engagement. But later on, the management cleared, not limitation. He is not saying, okay, if you are not able to get sufficient appropriate audit evidence, reduce it to review. No, this is not the case. He is actually saying that, sir, there was some confusion. It is actually a review engagement. It is not an audit engagement. Fine. But then the auditor has to see that work done till date is relevant. But again, his report, the report he is giving on review service would not include any reference to the original audit engagement. He will not say that originally we were appointed to the audit, but later on it was changed to review. No. Now a fresh engagement letter has been prepared where the scope and objective defined is for review engagement. Are you all understanding this or not? Write to me in the chat box. Are you all understanding this? Yes, Daksh. The same auditor can perform review. Ha. Yes. But to understand, now the engagement letter has changed. Okay. So he is now appointed as a reviewer and not as an auditor. Clear, Daksh? Okay. Tanu, try to understand beta. They say if the management requests the auditor, the engagement letter has been accepted, the audit work has been started. Now, management is trying to tell auditor that please change the terms, the contents whatever contents are there, under that content, change the terms and conditions. That your scope of work is not this, your scope of work is to compile the financial statements and not to perform audit. Because there was some confusion. The auditor said, okay. Now he will again ascertain that will there be any scope limitation on the scope? If not, he will say, fine, we are changing the engagement letter. Now what they say, that engagement letter, a fresh engagement letter has been prepared, work done there will stand valid, no issues. But now the new report which you will be given will not contain any reference to the original report. Original form means, or you will not write in the report that originally we were engaged for audit but now we are doing compilation services. No. Agreed upon procedures. No. Are you understanding? No reference to the original audit engagement. Original audit engagement cancelled, so no reference. New audit engagement, your report will be valid and you will be able to perform the audit. Very good. Priya is asking a very interesting question. Priya is asking, ma'am, why it is said to withdraw instead of giving disclaimer of opinion? Priya, you tell me, when you know something will not work your way, you will not end up collecting any evidence beforehand, you know that. Why will you even accept that engagement? Suppose a client comes to you and he says, ma'am, I want to get my books of accounts audited. You ask, do you have bank accounts? He says no. He says yes. Can you provide me with the bank statement? He said no, I will not provide you. Can you provide me with debtors confirmation? No, I will not provide you. Can I take statements from the bank? No, you are not allowed to. So you know you will end up giving a disclaimer. Why will you even accept that engagement? Priya, tell me. Daksh is saying instead we can charge something for wasting time. Consultancy you can always charge. Yes, it's a waste of time for auditor and management, correct? Priya, I want the answer from you. See, never give your consultancy for free. Okay, are you understanding? Whenever I think we will get the client, Priya, what will you do with the client where you will not get any evidence? Will you not be doing injustice to your own profession and your own standards? You will not follow the standards. You will perform alternate audit procedures. There also you will not get the audit evidence. You again, I will tell you, giving disclaimer is no excuse. Giving disclaimer is no excuse. You cannot get free from your responsibility by giving disclaimer. The onus lies on you that you have to get audit evidence. It is the worst last resort that you are unable to get for some of the assertions. You give disclaimer, but for the whole of the balance sheet, you are not able to give any evidences. You are not able to gather any evidence. Shame on you. Are you understanding, Priya? It is a matter of your own credit worthiness also, beta. You are a CA and you are accepting a client just to retain it and ask for money. Where are your ethics? Independence. You are not able to give any opinion. Priya, are you understanding? Interesting question. then think it logically. You know from before you will not get anything. Okay, I will again, then also I will charge some audit fee and give a disclaimer. End of the story. No. Are you understanding? All right. Rest of you, have you understood? Okay. Now it says, if the terms of audit engagement are changed, the auditor and management shall agree to the changed terms and conditions and record the new terms of engagement in an engagement letter or any written form of agreement. They say recourse available to auditor in situation of non-agreement to a change in terms. Okay, first tell me, is this paragraph clear to all of you? If the terms of audit engagement are changed, then they should at least agree to that changed terms and conditions, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Then they say, what is the recourse? What is the remedy available to the auditor in situation of non-agreement to a change in terms and agreement and lack of permission from management to continue original audit engagement? What will happen? They say that the auditor is not able to get agreement from management. The auditor is unable, auditor is saying, I am not able to agree to this new terms and condition. I am sorry. Whatever terms and conditions you are imposing and asking me to make a new engagement letter, I do not agree to it. You are saying no. Now you, from audit, you want to change to review just because I'm not able to get sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Sorry, I will not agree to this. So where possible under applicable law or regulation, withdraw yourself. Even after acceptance, you can withdraw yourself from that audit engagement and determine if there is any obligation, either contractual or otherwise, to report the circumstances to other parties, to the users of financial statements. You have to give a declaration that you are resigning, you are withdrawing from this engagement. Are you understanding? There they are saying that whatever terms and conditions the management agree to with a fresh note, the auditor is not considering it, he is not agreeing to it. So what he can do, if it is not binding on him to withdraw under law, he can withdraw from the engagement. And if he thinks that there is a responsibility to report, maybe he has obtained some information from the bank, so he should immediately tell the bank and write to them that I am resigning from this particular assignment. Are you understanding? So any party, any third party which he thinks should be aware of his resignation, he should make sure that he communicates this message to him. Isn't it sounding very practical? Isn't it sounding very practical? This is how you should work. Okay. All of you have understood this? Anyone, any doubt? Please let me know. Audit never seemed to be non-practical. Yes, very true, Daksh. I agree with you. Okay, come to this. They say when it is reasonable justification, if there is a misunderstanding, restriction on the scope and he considers justification, then what can be done? A change in circumstances that affect the entity's requirement or a misunderstanding concerning the service, that is what we accepted, may be considered reasonable. Okay. In contrast, a change may not be considered reasonable. It would appear that any change related to information that is incorrect, incomplete or unsatisfactory to the auditor. So they say the auditor will work as per new terms of engagement and issue report as per the same. The original terms and conditions will not be referred to in the new report. This is what we studied. Okay, then an example might be where auditor is unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding receivables and the entity asked for the audit engagement to be changed to review engagement to avoid qualification or disclaimer. Is this a reasonable justification? No, it is not a reasonable justification on the part of management. Hence, not considered justifiable by the auditor as well. What should the auditor consider before agreeing to the change in the audit engagement? to an engagement providing lower level of assurance. Means from audit it has come to review, not because he was unable, but there was a misunderstanding. Are you getting the difference between the two, dear students? First case was just because he was not able to gather information, the engagement was changed to review. Second case, there was misunderstanding. Genuinely, the management wanted to go in for review engagement, but by mistake, it has mentioned audit engagement. So now, if prior to completing the audit engagement, the auditor is requested to change the audit engagement to an engagement that conveys a lower level of assurance, the auditor shall determine again whether justifiable, reasonable justification is for doing so or not. Before agreeing to the change, an audit engagement to a review or related service, and an auditor who was engaged to perform audit in accordance with ICAI may also need to assess any legal or contractual implication. If the auditor concludes that there are justifiable, reasonable justification to change the audit engagement to a review audit engagement and the procedures that may have been performed for the original engagement. Whatever procedure these reasons are justifiable or not. Original engagement or audit procedures performed or as per the revised engagement he has to work. But if he thinks it is unreasonable, non-justifiable, the changes, he will withdraw and he will report as per any legal obligation. He will report to the concerned party. Is it clear to all of you? Is this content clear to all of you? Please write to me in the chat box. I'm waiting for your validation. Others, I'm not getting any response. Okay, wait, a long chat I have received. But ma'am, how giving a disclaimer of opinion is harm to profession? I mean, if we ask for document report financial related parties, but giving a disclaimer of opinion is harm for the organization or company. I understand we shall not accept, but sometimes I get confused. I think if that is case, then there must not be any option or choice of disclaimer. Disclaimer isn't right. I am sorry if the question is wrong. Technical team, I would like to get Priya unmuted and contact me directly. Pooja, are you there? Priya, sorry, Priya. Technical team, are you there? Priya. Priya, are you here? Priya, are you here, beta? Her question is,
Hello.
Priya? Yes, Priya. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, Priya. Ask me your doubts now.
Ma'am, I'm confused in between the disclaimer of opinion and withdrawing from the audit. If disclaimer of the opinion is a harm to profession, There must
See,
not be such
it is
choices.
not, मेरी बात सुनो, listen to me. It is not a harm to profession. It is before even completing the audit, you know that there will be limitation on the scope of audit. You know that the client's integrity is not up to the mark. They will not let you perform the audit procedures. You know that. Suppose you are a client who's a Don company has employed you. He is asking you to go in for audit for his company. Listen to me, Pooja. Priya, sorry.
Yes, yes.
Okay, a Don company has employed you as their auditor. And you know, whatever you will ask for, you will be at a gunshot.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Even before starting the audit, you know, whatever I will ask for, they will not provide me. Rather, they will put a gun on my this thing and they will say, please do your work properly, otherwise I'm going to fire you. You know that. But you are saying, no, ma'am, still, what is the point? Retain the client, take the money, give the disclaimer, fine. Tell me, Priya, this is the condition that you are approving to.
No.
Did you get the answer? Whatever question you had, whatever query you had?
Yes.
This is what they are trying to say. That even before conducting the audit, you know that there is a limitation on the scope. You will not be provided with evidence and you have to end up giving a disclaimer. Will you still accept? No. Simple
No.
enough.
Yes.
Now is it clear, Priya?
Yes, ma'am.
This was the reason I took you personally.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? Yes, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Technical team, you're most welcome, beta. You are free to ask your doubts. See, if you will personally ask whatever your doubts are, I will be able to clarify it more with more of your explanation.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So good, Priya, that you asked this question, but I hope now it is clear to you.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Technical team, you can again unmute. Sorry, you can put Priya on mute so that we can continue. Thank you so much, technical team. You are constantly at our, uh, whatever we ask you, you are so quick to respond to. Okay. Others, anyone, any doubt, please feel free to ask. So can I consider this to be understood by all of you? All right. Okay. So now, recourse available to the auditor, remedy available to the auditor in situation of non-agreement to a change. Technical team, please put Priya to mute. A noise is coming from her side that is disturbing. Okay, thank you so much. So recourse available. What are the remedy available to the auditor in situation the change terms and condition he is not agreeing to? He is saying you can change, but I am not agreeing to this. So what is the recourse? What is the remedy available? What if the ball is in the court of auditor? Now what is he supposed to do? So, if the auditor is unable to agree to the change of the terms of audit engagement and is not permitted by the management to continue the original audit engagement, the auditor shall withdraw from the audit engagement where possible and applicable under law. Determine whether there is any obligation, either contractual or otherwise, to report to any other party or those charged with governance. See, whenever he resigns, he has to communicate this to the management or TCWG that I am resigning. He quietly cannot quit. Again, ethics come into play. Whatever you are doing, you have to be straightforward and honest. Integrity is there, what counts. You are straightforward and you are honest. You are saying that sorry, I do not accept to the change terms and conditions and I want to withdraw. Talking of my personal experience, a same thing happened where I actually quit that assignment. I withdrawn from the assignment just because there were changes to engagement which I could not agree to. So what did I tell? I told the management and TCWG, sorry, I wish to resign. I want to withdraw from the engagement because I do not agree to whatever you are saying to. As simple as that. Are you all understanding? Is it clear to all of you? Ma'am, BOS page has number of emails for faculties for doubt. I have to ask anything to you. How do I mail you? Daksh, you can put it to the board of studies, and I think I will get your query. Okay, all right. Then now come another topic. That terms of engagement in recurring audit. What do you mean by that? The ones which we have done earlier, it was for a new client. Now, it is in the case of recurring audit, whichever you have been doing from past. Now they say that what happens generally I'm saying, for every recurring audit, you do not give a new engagement letter. This is what generally happens, but still I would say the best practice is that if there is any revision, why? Because the scope will change you will have to mention that I have been engaged for this particular year. So it is always in a best practice to give a fresh audit engagement letter. But again, they're saying recurring audit is an audit which is performed by auditors over a year, old clients. On recurring audits, the auditor shall assess whether circumstances require the terms of audit engagement to be revised and whether there is a need to remind the entity of existing terms of the audit engagement. It is at the auditor's will. Because engagement letter is prepared by the auditor. So it is wholly solely on the auditor's wish. A few things that management is now, not listening to me. So I need to tell them, remind them of their responsibility that they should do this. So he's coming up. Thinks that no, they are genuine enough, they are doing their responsibility and duties. May decide. The auditor may decide not to send a new engagement letter. So it is wholly and solely at the option of auditor. The auditor may decide not to send a new engagement letter or other written agreement each period. However, the following factor may make it appropriate to revise the terms of audit engagement or to remind the entity of existing terms. When? Now, this question is important. Why? Because it can come directly or in a case of in MCQ type of a question. When there is any indication that the entity misunderstands the objective and scope of audit. See, from years, we have been giving them consultancy also and we have been auditing also. We were there to correct, tell them, see, practically what happens, it is not that the client comes to you with their books of accounts and you say, oh, this is wrong, I'm going to give an adverse opinion. That doesn't happen practically. What happens is sometimes, see, they are accountants, they are accounting people who do the audit, they are not chartered accountants. Okay, so maybe they are not very well versed with the accounting standards or calculation of depreciation, what rate of depreciation should be calculated on which asset. So maybe you as an auditor will see, oh, computer, you have depreciated by 10%. They say, yes, ma'am, because we considered it as plant and machinery. So that is why we have done it at 15%, suppose. Now you say, no, it has to be depreciated by 40%. So there comes your expertise. For example, they have made payment in excess of 10,000 in cash. You are the master of income tax. You will tell them, see, you are not allowed to make such payments. Please kindly verify. So all these things, you as an auditor, you tell them that is fine. And you discuss with the management. If they are satisfied, they will make the changes in the accounts and then they present it to you. Practically what happens, I'm telling you this. But still, if you think that the management is not fulfilling this misunderstanding the scope and objective, every time they come to us, we tell them it is how to be done, GST calculation is wrong, we tell them this is how to be done, but now they have left it on us only. Since past so many years, we are telling them that this is the change, this is the change, but now they have relied on us. So please, it is high time that we need to remind them that, see, it is responsibility. If you have any doubt, we are there to clarify and solve your problem or teach you how it is to be done, but we are not going to do it. So then what will you do? You will revise any revision or special terms of that audit, of the audit engagement. Some other engagement has to be done or some other revision or special terms of audit engagement to be done. Then obviously a new engagement. Recent change in the senior management. The senior management has changed. Earlier, the father was your client. Now the father, he has died and the business is taken over by the son. So now you say the change in senior management. The son, will he understand my way of taking the assignment or not? Again, a fresh assignment. Change in the ownership again. Ownership has been transferred from someone else to the other person. Significant change in nature and size of business. What is this? Nature and size of business. There is expansion. There is diversification. You all are studying SM, I guess. Isn't it? Are you studying SM, strategic management? There you know how a business is done. Diversification, penetration in the market, expansion. Are you all aware of it? Yes, Achal is saying yes. She's happy that whatever is studied is being coming into play. Okay. A change in legal or regulatory requirement. There was some product that your company was producing. Now it has been banned by the government or government has imposed certain restrictions, or best example, there is a change in the GST rate. Okay, so any change that ways. So you say now there is a change in the legal regulatory requirement. Yes, actual retrenchment strategy, she remembers. All right. Okay, so any change in the legal and regulatory requirement or a change in financial reporting framework. Ind AS coming to play. Okay, change in the applicable financial reporting framework or a change in other reporting requirements. Like for example, in your accounts, now your first earlier you are to shaped acceptable for non-corporate, but now it is mandatory that you have to prepare as per schedule 3. Now it is mandatory that you have to prepare as per schedule 3. So now you can't take that. So there is a change in the reporting requirement. Are you all understanding? Are you all understanding? So terms of audit engagement in recurring, the auditor may decide not to send a new audit engagement letter or other written agreement each period. However, if there is an indication that the entity misunderstands, revised special terms has been come up to. Now the entity is saying, sir, please do this service also. There's a revision in the engagement. So again, new engagement letter. Change in the senior management, change in the ownership, change in the nature and size of business, change in legal or regulatory requirement, change in financial reporting framework, change in other reporting requirements. Is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Please let me know, dear students. Anyone, any doubt in any of the points, please ask me. So a question might come up that what are the circumstances where a fresh or new audit engagement or a revised audit engagement needs to be issued, even in case of a recurring audit. So you should be knowing these things. The entity misunderstands the objective and scope, revision or special terms of audit engagement, change in the senior management, change in the ownership, change in the nature and size, change in legal requirement, change in financial reporting framework, and change in other reporting requirements. Is it clear to all of you? Can we proceed, dear students? Please let me know. I'm not getting response. What happened? Am I audible or not? It's all related to change, Achal. But do not forget what change is that. In the exam it comes. Okay, but I am not getting any response. That is why I was thinking that are you not listening? Have you all gone? What is the matter? So you might also get a question. What are the examples or what are the situations where new engagement letter is to be issued in case of recurring deposit? Recurring audit or recurring engagements. Okay. So these are the examples. Is it clear to all of you? Should we proceed, dear students? Coming to audit quality. Yes, okay. So audit quality. What do you mean by quality? Have you all heard of peer review, where work of another CA, that whether there was ample quality work done by the other CA or not? See, there comes a quality. Means with what quality are you performing your audit? Okay. Are you doing it with ethics? Are you doing it properly with full alertness? Okay, you are not carrying a carefree attitude. So there is a check imposed on all the auditors or CA for that matter, that whatever work you are doing, be it audit, be it certification, be it review services, be it any agreed upon procedures, be it any related service, but you are doing it with properly following the standards on auditing. So there are two quality standards that are given in our curriculum: SQC1 and SA220. Repeat with me: SQC1 and SA220. SQC1, standard on quality control, is related to quality where the entire firm, audit firm, is responsible to maintain the quality. Means the firm, all the personnels, all the people working in that firm are expected to do their work with utmost quality and ethics. Integrity also comes into play. Also, okay. And SA 220 is related to audit engagements only. SQC1 is related to all the engagements, be it review engagement, be it related services, be it agreed upon procedures, or be it audit. But SC220, as the name says, standards on auditing. SQC is quality control, no word audit coming into it. So audit, it's a blanket standard which covers review, agreed upon procedures, related services, compilation services, audit engagement, all the engagements. Okay, but SA 220 is solely related to audit of financial statements, and it dealt with engagement wise. Means whatever audit engagement you are taking, you should follow SA 220 there. That is what is the requirement. Are you able to get little hang of it? We will start with SQC1 and we will do SQC1 and SA220 in the next session. But today I wanted you to have a hang of it. That what is the purpose of this quality standard? It is to provide confidence to the users of financial statements that auditor is responsible for your audit, and auditor's responsibility is to give the users of the financial statements that confidence. And how can he give that confidence? Through maintaining quality in his work. See, I always say that a lot of pressure is on the shoulders of CA. You are burdened with the responsibility of satisfying the users of financial statements that whatever you have done with utmost quality. Then only can the users have faith in you, isn't it? See, as users, whosoever you tell, oh, we are chartered accountants, they will look up to you as if you are what rocket science studies you have done. And you are, as Modi ji says, you all are future of the nation. So lot of people, lot of the entire economy is relying on you. Okay, for the purpose of income tax, for the purpose of GST, we all look up to CAs. So if you will not provide quality and you will do your work with utmost carefreeness and just for the sake of doing it, then it is a shame and disregard or disrepute to the profession. Okay. So, for the purpose of an independent auditor, the purpose of an independent auditor is to provide confidence to the users of audited financial statements. Therefore, high audit quality is essential to maintain confidence in the independence assurance provided by the auditors. See, people are just relying upon your one signature and they are blindly investing in that company that, oh, this has been audited. The CA must have checked everything properly and then we are getting this profit. The share prices are high, the net worth is high, let's invest. And suppose if you have not done that audit with quality, then what will happen? That faith will disappear, isn't it? So, they say it is the responsibility of auditor to maintain the high audit quality. SQC 1 and SA 220 both deals with quality control, whereas SQC 1 deals with all the engagements including audit, review and other assurance and related services engagement. This I told you. Whereas SA 220 applies to audit engagement only. Further, SQC1 applies to entire firm. However, SA 220 applies to particular audit engagement. Suppose they have got one audit engagement, it is the duty of that firm to see that that particular audit engagement is dealt with quality. Is it clear to all of you? Is this difference clear to all of you? Please write to me in the chat box. Is it becoming too heavy? Others also please reply. Is it clear? Whatever we have discussed, not heavy. Okay. Whatever we have discussed, is it clear, dear students? Yes, ma'am, clear. Anyone, any doubt, please ask me. Anyone, any doubt, or I will ask questions. Is the difference, just a light difference of what SQC1 and SA220 is? Are you having any idea? Like a simple idea would work for today. Next class, we will discuss both these standards, which are very, very important from your exam point of view. We are going to discuss in detail. Okay, so I'm asking questions now. Are you all ready? Are you all ready, dear students? Okay. Who is going to tell me the two preconditions? The two preconditions for the acceptance of audit engagement. Preconditions for an audit. Let me see how many of you remember. Preconditions. Yes, take your time. I know you have to write, so it will take time. Please, I'm giving you time. Please write. What are the preconditions for an audit? I haven't got any answers yet. You are writing, okay. Very good, Archal. So proud of you. Very good. Others? Golti, Anil, if you will write the answer like this, you will not get marks. Very good, Pooja. Golti Anil, I would like to remind you the way you are writing the answer is not correct, Golti. Last time also I told you, and then you are the one to say that ICI wants printed answers. You are not even using the keywords. You are not even using the correct terminologies. And then you want full marks. Golti Anil, not accepted. See on how you are writing the answer. Golti Anil, start practicing writing answers. Others, I'm waiting for your response. Okay. Who will tell me the contents of engagement letter? Contents of engagement letter. Contents of engagement letter. Achal, fees is not correct, Pita. Fees we do mention, but when we ask for the contents, those are the major headings. Okay. Objectives and scope of audit, responsibility of auditor, responsibility of management, identification of applicable financial reporting framework for the preparation of financial statements, and reference to form and content of the reports to be issued by the auditor. Yes. Reference to expected form and content, like reference that a audit report will be given on the opinion. Okay. Reference to expected form and content. What kind of report are you going to issue? That reference the auditor will give. So do not write your fees. You have to write reference to expected form and content of any reports. See, this is why I'm keep on repeating that sentence before you, because you have to write that. Okay. Reference or reference expected that to report as an auditor that he has conducted the audit, he will give his opinion, he will give his reasonable assurance. So he is giving a reference to it. Okay. Like you, yes. Like you saw in that specimen, it was written that we are performing the audit and we will be giving a reasonable assurance. Okay. All right. Bhupati, your answer is incomplete. See, you have to write all. Do not think that because it will not come mention two contents of the audit report. The question will come as mention the contents of audit report. So you have to write all. You have to write all. Okay? Is it okay? Are all of you understanding this? You have to write all the contents. Even if it comes for 3 to 4 marks, all the contents are required. Is it clear? Do not think it is coming for 2 marks. So we will write only 2 contents. No, 3 marks, only 3 contents. No, you have to write all the 5. Yes, yes. Okay. So with this, can we call off the class for today? Please get back, revise whatever was taught today, because because next class will be the last class. Please make sure that you ask all your doubts. Okay? All right. So till then, please revise all the contents, whatever has been done till now. And thank you all of you for being such good audience and good students. Okay, good night. Take care. God bless you all. Technical team, thank you for your support. We can wind up the class for today, technical team.